miles an hour. But still, can you imagine going 200 miles an hour and you're sitting on the engine shroud, stripping out parts of the motor? But you know what? It was an interesting show.
It was, because the thing was, he can see it, nobody else seeing it, and then he had to try to explain it to somebody, and they're thinking he's out of his mind, and meanwhile it's still tearing it apart, and his anxiety's going through the roof.
Yeah, and everybody thought he was a nutcase till the plane landed. And then that's when, the captain and the maintenance crew noticed that something tore the, engine shroud apart. And it wasn't just from flying.
No, and if something can stand there, like you said, going 200-300 miles an hour and just stand there and rip things apart, that's something that's formidable.
I wouldn't want to reach it, and especially looking at you going, ha ha, I'm going to tear and make this plane crash. Yeah, okay, well. But, I just want to say again, people, this is the time of year I get on, and I'm not begging. Well, kind of. If you go to www.nightdreamstalkradio.com, you can see a donation drive. Now, it's two things. We're not ending the show by any means. We're growing. And we're going to be on more radio stations shortly. We're going to be, like I said, on Twitch TV. Our listenership is huge. Huge. It shocks me. Every time I find out how many people were listening. We were out on some of the books, some of the stations that carry us. We're doing really well. Really well. But here's the thing. I still, radio stations don't pay me at all to be on, to carry my show. It's free to them. Now, we do make a little money from advertisers who advertise on the radio part. That doesn't go on the internet part. And I'm trying to keep that from happening. I think I ran only a couple commercials here recently, and I got a whole bunch of people complaining to me, why are you running commercials on your show? Well, here's the thing. I still have a bill every month, a couple of big ones, the bandwidth. To do this show, can you imagine, you go to, remember the old malt shops? Well, maybe a lot of you guys might be too young for it, but, a place where you went in and you listened to music, you brought your girlfriend, or you're trying to get a girlfriend, and you ordered a milkshake or a malt, and you put your straw in it, and then your girlfriend comes over. So, hey, can I share your malt with you? So she puts her straw in it. So now you're sucking out your milkshake, she's sucking your milkshake, and now all of a sudden your friends come and they start putting their straws, and then all of a sudden everybody's sucking your milkshake. And, and then you don't get much of anything because everybody else has sucked it all out. Well, the bandwidth is expensive because every time we grow with more listeners, it uses more bandwidth. Not so much like on one of the apps if you're listening on speaker, but some of these other apps I'm on, or through the one broadcast service I use, the more people that listened through that one, it's like, hey, money. So it costs a lot of money to do the show, for the internet, the broadcast software, the, service to feed out to the radio stations. All this costs money. Now, a lot of shows, how they pay for their show is simple. You want to listen to a past show? You have to become a member. And it'll cost you so much a month or so much a year, and then you have access to all the prior shows. If you notice, there's around 400 shows you can listen to. It doesn't cost you a cent to listen to it. You can listen every day for hours and hours, and it's all free. But I do need a little help. So if anybody can donate $1 or $2 or whatever, we're doing this drive all the way through January. It'll help pay for I don't have to do that. I don't want to have to charge people to listen to the past shows. Know what, James?
I don't know if something happened. Y'all lost you.
Well, that's you.
It must be me. You were talking. Her last I heard was need a little help, and then it went blank.
Well, you're not going blank on I'm listening to my own feed. It's not going blank. But what it is if you can donate $1 or $2, it'll help pay for the bandwidth. and that money will be used only for that purpose. So then I don't have to charge anybody to listen to the past shows. It's all free. It'll stay free. And as we keep growing, with shows, there'll be more shows you can listen to for free. As simple as that. So if you can donate $1 or $2 or whatever, it's great. If you donate $20 or more, everything is through PayPal. So you make your donation as secure. If you donate $20, put down there, I want a book. And I'll send you a brand new book in the paranormal. Now, it might be on UFOs. It might be on cryptids or something like that. But you'll get a new book, in the mail within probably about a week or two after you make the donation. Free. This is my way of saying thank you. But it's, important, that we keep the shows, all the prior shows, free for everybody to listen to. So what do you think about that, James?
I think that's a heck of an idea, because I do know that, listen, there's at least, last I looked, 360 plus shows, and that covers everything from abductions, UFO sightings, cryptids, Bigfoots, spirits, ghost hunting, you name it. It covers the whole game. Matter of fact, it covers conspiracies and everything. And to get a book, and most of them books are probably $20 or more, because I've seen them. They're heavy duty, brand new books covering all aspects of the paranormal. So I think that's a pretty good deal, actually.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? We got some great guests coming up, too, all through January. We're going to be talking about cryptids. We're going to be talking about UFOs. We're going to be talking about shapeshifters. We're going to be talking about anything, in the paranormal. And don't forget, January 2nd, we have the one and only Terry Lovelace. Now, I know some people have made remarks and sent me, Lovelace, Linda Lovelace. No, they're not relatives. He was a former Attorney General, U.S. Attorney General. He's a lawyer. Back in the 70s, him and his buddy went camping, and they thought they were camping on state ground. They ended up on federal ground. They didn't realize that. And they saw some triangle light in the sky. They followed that, and then they decided to go to sleep, but then they heard weird noises. They looked out their tent, and they saw and heard a UFO and saw like these childlike creatures running around. Well, they were aliens. And I'm not going to say anything more, but we're going to have him on for almost 3 hours on the 2nd, and we're going to regress him over the radio back more than whatever happened. Every time I even run a replay or anytime he's been on the show, I tell you what, the numbers are huge because they want to hear his story. And it's so scary when you really think about it. And he has the opinion that these aliens are not here to serve man. They're simple not. And I'm not talking about serving them on the platter. They're not here to benefit us. They're evil. Now, that's his opinion. Right.
And I got to tell you something, Gary. When I first seen 15 minutes of his story, I don't know, whenever it was, 2 months ago, I was like, wow, we got to get him. We got him on. And you're right. Every time he's on, we hear a little bit more. And I got to tell you, of all the guests, he's the only one that I'm always on the edge of my seat, man, because there's always something new, and it's some really spine-tingling stuff. And it's legit. You can tell. You can feel the conviction in his voice when he tells you. You can feel his anxiety. It's legit.
Well, it's more than legit. It's scary. And look what it has done for him. He goes to bed at night. He has a flashlight on his nightstand and a loaded semi right there, just in case he gets abducted again, which he has. He claims he's been abducted several times since that major abduction.
Yeah, and like he said like he said a few times when he's been on, he was one that got to come back. Now, whether he was a reject or an ongoing experiment, we don't know. But some people don't come back, obviously, and that's scary. That's in itself is scary.
Well, yeah, but look at all these people that like he said, when the UFO took off, there was a whole bunch of people still in that UFO. And as we've heard this so many times from other people that, claim that they were abducted and they've been, taken aboard a craft. They said that they see other humanoids, but they somehow are released or, returned. But there's other times that these other people are not being returned. So where are they being taken to, and what is being done with them? Again, some of the guests have talked about these people laid on these gurneys or table type things, and they're doing all kinds of experiments with these humanoids. Us humans.
Yeah. I would love to get into deeper research, but love to find other people that was on that ship that night that maybe came back, that were abducted that night, and seen other people. That would be amazing to line something like that up, I think. But I the odds of that happening, who knows?
Well, considering like Terry Lovelace said there was like humanoid or creatures in tubes of liquid, well, they're not going to be returned. No.
As a matter of fact, remember he said he walked by the one that looked like a hybrid or something in a tube, and it opened his eyes when he looked at it. And that he says that right there alone keeps him up at night several times.
Well, yeah, wouldn't it keep you up if you were being abducted? I'm going to tell you, it's going to mess with you to the day you die. Because you're going to be terrified, to go anywhere. Because if you're in your car and you're abducted, you're in your bed, you're abducted, or you're out camping or out hiking or whatever, and you're abducted, you think you're going to feel secure and safe after that? I mean, if they can get you from your own house or inside your car or your tent or what have you, it tells you you're not safe anywhere. If they want you, they got you.
Yeah, it's one of the only enigmas that there's really no defense against. Like these other things, there's things. But this, like they can get you anywhere, anytime, 24/7. There's really no stopping it. And that is the scary part. And then the stuff that they can do to you that stays with you forever. Again, these are things, that's the real true terror, is knowing that you are powerless over this.
Oh, yeah. And the future, the way things are looking, they're saying we're past the turnaround. Now with climate changes, earth changes, and society and all that. I was reading a report here, just matter of fact, I think yesterday, it gives us about 10 more years before chaos starts hitting.
Well, I've said on here many times, you can look at the population. 73 was 3.5 billion. Today it's 7 billion plus. And in 20 years, it's going to probably be, 15 billion or 20 billion. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of consumption. That's a lot of waste. That's a lot of needs. It's a recipe for disease. All kind of things could go wrong with that many people in this world.
Oh, yeah. And on top of that, there's not going to be enough water. There's not going to be enough food. And I keep thinking Charlton Heston, the movie Soylent Green. Are we heading that way? I don't know. Hey, I want to again tell people, share us on your media. Just type in www.nightdreamstalkradio.com and share us to your friends. Let them know that, hey, this show is on. We kind of rule the early night, from 6 to 9 Pacific time, from 9 to midnight Eastern time. And, we try to give you the best in the paranormal. We are a little silly. I'll admit that. The first hour of the show, we cover the wacky news, UFO reports. James every hour gives you, the news of Earth changes and UFOs and all those reports. We're trying to give you a lot of, entertainment. That's what the show is. It's entertainment. And that's what we are trying to do. Now, tomorrow, we got Toby Johnson and his friend in. We're going to be talking about ghost hunting and all that stuff tomorrow. It's going to be a great show. We're going to have him on actually starting about 6:10 p.m. tomorrow instead of 7. And we're going to continue on for 2 hours instead of an hour and a half. So he'll be on from basically 6 o'clock to around 8 o'clock, maybe 8:15, something like that. And they sent me a whole bunch of weird sound clips that we're going to be playing. So it should be a quite interesting, good show tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to be, but they got some sound clippings and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, till tomorrow, everybody, stay out of trouble. If you get in trouble, blame it